lot of mayors here, and they all care about the same thing. They're all here for the same reason, as is Congressman Peter King and police chiefs from around the region and several other distinguished guests who all care about the tragic shooting in Arizona that has affected us all and the whole country, and what it means and how we can prevent things like this from happening again. And I know you all join with me and all New Yorkers in expressing our deepest condolences to the families who've lost loved ones. Our prayers are especially with those who are fighting for their lives, and I know we've all found some hope in the latest encouraging sign from Congresswoman Giffords. Gabrielle Giffords is an incredibly well-liked and respected member of Congress, and she was performing the simplest, most pure act of democracy, meeting with her constituents, talking with them, hearing their concerns. And that is the foundation upon which everything else in this country is built. But on Saturday, a young man's anger and madness transformed that basic act of democracy into a bloodbath. Senator McCain has labeled the shooter a disgrace to Arizona, to this country, and to the human race. I would add that he is also a disgrace to democracy, to everything that we stand for. Yesterday, all of us here joined with Americans around the country in observing a moment of silence on behalf of the victims of the shooting. And today we come together to speak up for ways to prevent more of these tragedies from occurring in the future by adopting common sense fixes to some of our broken gun laws. Civil debate is important, and I've long spoken out in favor of more cooperation and less antagonism. But I think it's true that the more we learn, the more it becomes clear that this case is fundamentally about a mentally ill drug abuser who had access to guns and shouldn't have. For many of us in New York City, and especially those of us in city government, the news that an elected official has been shot at point-blank range brought our minds back quickly to July 23rd of 2003. On that day, if you remember, in this building, New York City Councilman James Davis was murdered by a political opponent and a madman whose history of psychiatric problems should have legally prevented him from buying a gun. But it didn't. When a public official is shot or a mass shooting occurs, a great deal of press coverage follows, as it should. But the reality is that every single day, 34 Americans are murdered by someone firing a gun. And most of those guns are purchased or possessed illegally. That means that on a daily basis, we experience a massacre larger than the one that we had at Virginia Tech. And even though the shootings in Blacksburg, Virginia, and Tucson, Arizona, happened nearly 4 years and 2,000 miles apart from one another, I think they both underscore systematic failures in the ways that guns are regulated in this country.